Hello, today's date's 18th of January, Tuesday. I've been sitting here in this lay-by just for a while, um, probably 5-10 minutes. And this cloud in front of us has been actually very interesting because the cloud's been there for all the time I've been sitting here. But if you look further round, you can see another darkish cloud there, oval shaped. That is part of this one, the big one that we are seeing. And though the cloud has this part has increased, has continued to cross the sky, it was a part of that one. Now, clouds don't sit in the sky in the same place. They move with the wind. So anyway, whilst we watch this cloud and see what happens, I'm going to share one of the experiences. No, not the experience. It was a meeting with that group of people that I spoke about the other day, where they have the buildings and they have aeroplanes. These people came to see me, as I mentioned in one of the last videos, one of the other videos. And the issue they had was, they had an issue with me seeing ETs and drawing the mural of the ETs, drawing what the ETs look like on the tank of my motorbike. So they came to see me, and this is one of the things they said. They told me that basically I'd changed what the ETs looked like. I'd changed something in the mural, and they wanted to know why I'd changed it. The guy says, now I understand. You changed the mural of that ET because if someone had seen an ET, they would be able to say, yeah, that looks similar, but you have changed this part. And I nodded. Yeah, correct. So anyway, in the conversation, they told me that I'd been put on a hit list to be killed, taken out. And I'm just looking at the guy thinking, ooh, hardy guys, you bunch. He then said, we knew where it was going to be done. No, first he says, we knew how it was going to be done, where it was going to be done, and who was going to do it, as in kill you. He said, but before we were away to do that, we were approached by your friends, our star brothers and sisters, or should I say, the little ETs. It says, we were approached by your friends and told, back off, don't touch. Now we want you to go to George and give him this information. So here's the information that the people that fly airplanes had to share with me. And they don't want you knowing this. Go to George and give him this information. Imagine you get up in the morning, you go to a fish tank that you have in your living room. You feed the fish, or you look for your favorite fish, then you feed the fish, you go have your breakfast, You go to Aberdeen to work, you fly to London, you make a phone call to America. You come back home at night, you go to your fish tank, and you look for your favorite fish. I'm going on nodding. He says, you see that everything's okay in the fish tank? Says, how do you tell the fish in the fish tank what you have done all day? Says, you can't do it. Because the fish tank and the fish tank is the world that the fish are in. They do not understand you going for breakfast. They do not understand you driving to Aberdeen to work. And they do not understand you flying to London or making a phone call to America. Because their world is a fish tank. We are the fish in the fish tank. And your friends, ET friends, are the equivalent of us going to work, to Aberdeen, flying to London, etc. So, with that information, you can now begin to understand that these guys have very, very little power. And they don't know a lot. Even though they have got UFOs at their site, underground, and they won't allow people to see them. That is how backward these people are. If they were an advanced civilization, do you not think they would have been saying, come on guys, we've got this craft and we would like everyone to put their heads together and see if we can manage to back engineer it. But all they're interested in is aggression, fighting and killing. Now, later that night, when this guy told me this, they were at a bike rally at my farm. Another guy came to me and he says, yes, he says, this subject is good for you, as we're looking up in the sky. He says, you have a beautiful clear sky here, no light pollution. You can see everything. And yeah, we can't see everything. He says, let me tell you something. We picked up a UFO on radar one night and we put two jets out to it. It says one we put close to the UFO and one we keep back and it does the filming. On this occasion, the UFO disappeared. So what we radioed through from the radar station, do you see it? And the pilots responded with, no, it's disappeared. Because it also had disappeared from the radar. So the pilots were instructed to come back to base. We always land the jet fighter that is closest to the UFO first. Now, it's an interesting sentence. Obviously, they've been involved with them a lot. And why would they always land the one closest to the UFO first? So anyway, it came in, it landed. We put everything out, fire engine, ambulance, electrical engineers, mechanical engineers, everything is out in the runway waiting. The fighter pulls up. They went up and they had to open the cockpit lid because the pilot was disorientated. He says the plane was taken into the hangar. He says, I am an electrical engineer. He says, when we went through the cockpit, all the wires had been changed. They'd all been moved around. He says, if a pilot was not disorientated, he could not have landed that plane. This guy says, we are effing shitting ourselves with this subject. So maybe this clears up a little bit more about where people try to say they are in the subject. And I think you're being told some lies out there by some people who are trying to make themselves credible. So be careful what you're being told, and be careful what's being listened to. Thank you very much. And I see that cloud is still sitting there. That's 10, 11 minutes. So it sat there basically. It did move. There was different shapes to it. But it sat there for over 15 minutes. And I also see there's another one been sitting there for a while. I'm just going to watch here for another 10 minutes and see what happens. But thank you very much for watching. Have a good night or a good day. All the best. Bye.